Hey guys, it's Susan. I wanted to give you just a quick update before I start working on my diamond painting here. Next week, I am going to be working late all week at work, so I probably will not be filming too much next week. Probably the only thing that I will film next week will probably be just my Whip Wednesday. Oh, my hair. Ugh. Yeah, I know, right? Okay. So what's going to happen is that this weekend I'm going to probably double, triple, quadruple my recordings and kind of space them out through the week. That way I'm still releasing videos for the week, even though they got recorded earlier. So I wanted to let you know in case you see that not much difference is going on, that you don't see any changes or anything, that everything looks the same. That's what's going on, is that I am recording everything during the weekend and releasing it throughout the week. Now, guess what I got in the mail today? I went to Elizabeth's shop, the Happy Hippo Finds shop on Etsy, and I got these two diamond pins. Look at that dragon. I'm surprised that my son hasn't already stolen this dragon from me. Say, no, you can't have this. And they're very heavy duty. I love how heavy they feel. It makes me feel like nothing's ever going to break these. So I got these. So I'm going to be interchanging these, because you know me, I can't ever stick with one pin. And then from Dee Dee's diamond painting pins, she's got a new website out. I will try to link it below. I'll try to link Elizabeth's Etsy shop too. I got these. This one's purple. I know you can't probably tell, but I've always wanted a purple one, and every time she had some on for sale, everybody always grabbed them up before I could get them. So this is the purple one, and this is the lollipop one. The lollipop, because I just love the lollipop colors. Okay, so 4 new pens. If I did a video and showed you all just the pins I've got, it would probably take an hour long. I love getting pins. So most of them is Dee Dee's pins, because I love her pins. But yeah, my dragon and my unicorn, they just love each other. See, they make a couple. They make a couple. Okay, they sound weird. I know, you know, everybody knows. So anyway, yay. Okay. So which should I use first? Dragon or the unicorn? Dragon or the unicorn? Dragon or the unicorn? Okay. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay. Let's do the dragon. Let's use the dragon first. Okay. We're gonna use the dragon first. I'm still working on my husband. This one section here, but let me put you down. I'm gonna stop this real quick, so I want to make sure it's recording audio, and I'll be back in just 1 second. Okay, perfect. It's recording. I got audio. Okay, so I am going to stick some wax on this pen. I think I need to get a new deal of wax, because this one is kind of. Let me get another deal of wax. And I'll tell you what happened and why I'm not going to be doing all the different colors anymore on this. So. Okay, what happened is that I was working on filling in the area that I had already checker boxed on my husband's picture, and as I was doing that, I realized that, you know what, I was filling this in with the wrong color. So I did, I don't know how many, maybe 10 drills on here. That's the wrong color. But it's the background, so I'm not going to worry about it. But still, it's, yeah. So I'm sticking to just one color. And I am also going to just lay them down. I'm not going to worry about doing the checker box. So I'm going to put you down. Let's get started. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There she goes to save the day. Woohoo! Okay. See, I did all this filled in, and I know by the end of the weekend I can get this part done. And then I can't wait to start on his face. See, I think after this right here, then we start getting into like his Letterman jacket. See, just the rest of his face. There's a little bit more background, and then his Letterman jacket starts over here. So there's still quite a bit of background. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing background till the end of time. I know I am. So I am also, excuse me, I'm sorry. I am also expecting some cross stitch. I'm trying to get this zoomed in. I'm also expecting some cross stitch patterns in the mail today. So I was like, telling my son, I was like, listen for the UPS man. So, okay. Yeah, that looks like a good spot. Okay. But anyway, I was watching I was watching Amber over at Diamond Painting with Eskies. She just went on live, and her daughter sang some songs, and she sang some songs. They got some great voices. So that was fun. So, but I want to say, how is everybody doing today? I found out yesterday that you remember how I said my schedule was going to change, where I was going to be off on Sundays and Mondays instead of Saturdays and Sundays? Yeah, that's not going to work out. So I'm still got Monday through Friday, so I'm still going to be off on the weekends. So I'm still doing the same schedule I have been doing, so nothing's changing there. And so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Just lovely. Today I wasn't feeling well. I don't know if I ate something yesterday that didn't agree with me, but I was working on this, and I was like, I had to rush to the restroom. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but and then my stomach just started killing me. So I went try to go to bed early last night, and I probably went to sleep maybe around 9 or 10 o'clock, which is just about right for me when I'm not watching wrestling or anything. And my puppy, my lovely puppy, the light of my life, the bright spot in my darkness, she wanted to go out at like almost midnight last night. So I was like, okay, that's fine, I'll take her out. I got up, put my pants on. She's a very spoiled puppy, so I know most people have their have their dogs on a schedule. Yeah, mine's not. She just does whatever she wants to do. Probably not a very good mommy for doing it that way, but you know, what can I say? She is our baby. So okay, that's fine. I came back in, gave her, the first time that I take her out at night, in the middle of the night or in the early morning, she always gets a dentist stick. It's just become just this habit that we do together. She gets a dentist stick when she comes back in. So I gave her dentist stick, and we went back to bed, and everything was fine. I went back to sleep, and she got me back up at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. I kept trying to say, okay, Ray, you don't need to go out. You just went out 2 hours ago. You can't possibly need to go back out again. Well, she wasn't having none of that. She wanted out. So I'm like, all right. So I took her out. She did do her business. came back inside. She went back to sleep. I could not. So, technically speaking, I have been up since 2 o'clock this morning. It is now 4:30 in the afternoon. So I am looking at about 14 and a half hours I have been up right now. I did leave work early because I was not feeling well and I had a couple things to do. Which reminds me, Donna, your snowman paintings have been mailed to you. Please let me know if you want a tracking number. And Lori, your Star Wars picture has been sent to you. I've already sent that to you in a message, but if you want your tracking number for that, let me know. So I had to go to the post office to get those mailed off. And then I had to run to the store. And then I came home, played with my puppy, watched a couple of videos, trimmed my puppy's nails because she was about to kill me with them. And now I am filming with you all. So, I'm sure you all are about tired of me working on this picture. If you all want me to work on something else during my whip and chats, please let me know. I don't mind. You know, I've got like 3 other different paintings started, so it's not a big deal. I'm just trying to get this one done. And the sooner I can get the background done, the sooner I can start working on something a little bit more exciting, like this face. So, he's actually going to go visit his dad after he gets off work. He's probably on his way there now. I love how this dragon pen feels, guys. If you all I really highly suggest her store. These pens are just so high quality. They're perfect. I love them. Like I said, I'm surprised that my son hasn't already confiscated them. So, because he loves dragons. He loves everything about dragons. So, I got him a couple of diamond paintings with dragons on them that I'm going to do for him. After I do his custom for Christmas that I got for him. So, and I've really been itching, really have been itching to do one of my Avengers. And I think, I want to say I have at least 2, but I might have 3. I can't remember, guys. I swear. I know I did one unboxing on this channel of one of them. It was my dark one. It has a lot of black in it. But I have another one that's a lot brighter. It's like kind of like the movie poster for Infinity Wars. And the one where they have Thanos at the very top of the picture with his Iron Man. Iron Man's got his arms straight out with Thanos. And so that one's got a little bit more color to it. So I'm really itching to do one, but I'm trying hard to talk myself out of starting it, but it's so hard, guys. I really want to get started on that. But I have my Alice, and I have 2 mystery ones, and plus the one from Cheryl that's coming. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I want so many. I want to do so many, but there's not enough time in the day to be able to do all of them. So, yeah. Maybe I just need to go see the movie again. That's what I did. I bet that's what it is. I just need to see the movie again. Or at least watch something with them. I've been thinking about doing like an Avengers marathon. And maybe when I doing some diamond painting that's not being filmed, I'll put a movie on in here and watch it. So but y'all know I like to jump around from subject to subject, so here I go. At work, I found out who my new manager is going to be and who all is going to be moving to that team, which I am okay with a lot of the people that are moving over to that team. I was just worried about moving to the team with this one group of people who do nothing but talk all day long. And I did not want, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to change my schedule, plus the fact I wanted to stay with the manager that I currently have, was because I wanted, because it's so distracting when they are talking, you know. I can't get anything done because they're over there chatting about not even work stuff. I mean, if you're going to chat about work, that's one thing, but if you're not and you're just chatting to make noise, then how do you expect anybody else to get their job done? I'm sitting here trying to make production, trying to make quality, and yeah, that's all I'm getting to listen to. So, but yeah, I did, like I said, I left early today, so I have to work at least until 5:15 tomorrow. And then next week, I am going to pull 12s. That's the plan, to work 12s all week next week. Get some overtime. The overtime is supposed to end next week. Of course, it's been extended a couple of times now, so you never know. And so that is what I need to do. So, because something happened to my truck and the front sensor is not working, so I need to do some overtime so I can either put it in a shop or figure out why my sensor's not working. Not that I need the sensor to drive or to park or anything, but it's nice to have, because I've gotten used to it over the past year or so that I've had it. But anyway, the recordings I'm going to do this weekend, I'm not going to guarantee are going to be very long. I'm going to try to write down things that I want to talk about. I know that one of the chats, and I know I've talked about it before, but since she has a new book coming out soon, I kind of want to touch on that. But I kind of want to go through Christine Feehan's books. Her, well, she doesn't have a Carpathian one coming out. She's got a Shadow Rider coming out next month. But I want to go through the Carpathian series and just kind of, like I said, I don't know if you all like reading paranormal romance, but I do, and I think her books are wonderful, and anytime that I can possibly introduce her to somebody new who doesn't know what her books are, then that what I like to do. So one of my talks this weekend that I'm going to record is going to be her Carpathian series. And I might touch on the Shadow Rider series. Now she's got 3 or 4 different series going, but the only ones that I have read all the books to is the Carpathian series, the Shadow Rider series, and the Ink series. But she's only got 2 books on that one, so that one she just started. I think her second book on that one came out in January, and that one was really good. I finished that in like no time at all. So I really want to introduce her books to you all. And again, if it's not something that you don't, if it's not something you don't, if you don't like, nobody's making you watch it. So I hope I'm not offending anybody by saying that, but like I said, and then maybe you all can tell me some of your favorite series that you like to read, and then we can compare. Say, I'll let you know if I have read anything that you're suggesting, or maybe we can both find some new favorite authors. So, and on the opposite spectrum of Christine Feehan is that I love Stephen King. I love his books. I love most of the movies that have been made out of his books. I won't say all, because there have been some that has been awful. Has been like nothing like the stories that was supposedly inspired from. Case in point, The Lawnmower Man. Awful. If you've never read the book, or that's not even a book, it's a short story. If you've never read the short story to The Lawnmower Man and you saw the movie, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's a halfway decent movie. It's got Jeff Fahey in it, and I always kind of had a crush on him. I always thought he was cute. And so it's all right. But if you read the story and then go through and watch the movie, you will realize that the only similarity between the book, I keep saying book, it's not a book, between the story and the movie is that there's a lawnmower in it. Literally, I am not joshing you. The only similarity is that there's a lawnmower. Stephen King hated that movie, and he wanted nothing to do with his name even being on it. I think he actually had his name removed from the title. And it's even the same thing with The Shining. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't like that movie either. So, I think that if you are going to make a movie and you're not even going to make the author happy, then why even do it? If you're going to change so much about his story, in my opinion, there's no reason for you to even do it. If you go back and you look back at the Harry Potter movies, yes, there's some differences between the books and the movies. Just because if they followed everything to the letter in the book, all the movies would have been way longer than what they were. But you had J.K. Rowling, who was pretty much a part of everything that happened on those movies. So, yeah, she didn't adapt the books to the screenplay, but it's not like she handed over complete control either. She didn't. She had a say in everything that went on. From what I understand, she had a say in everything that went on in those movies. And the differences that were between the books and the movies, I think, were so minute that you really don't even see them. Let me know if I'm mistaken, but I've seen the movies enough times, and I've read the books, and I've listened to the audiobooks, and I've done everything when it comes to Harry Potter. So it is one of the few books to movies series that I thought was done exceptionally well. And yes, I'm about to say it. Y'all can crucify me if you want to, but I'm about to say it. Twilight's the same way. I love the books. I love the movies. I do not apologize for it. And so, yeah, I'm just going to put that out there and leave it there because I don't let anybody take that away from me. I love them. I watched them many times, and I've read the books, and I thought that they were done extremely well. Follow the books. Follow the book closely to each one. I think that's because Stephanie had a part in it as well. So, yeah. I said, don't crucify me. Y'all probably like hitting that unsubscribe button right now, aren't you? That's okay. Everybody has their own opinion. I understand that. So, I've only got one more drill in this tray. I'm going to do some more. But, let's see. I started to say, there's another series that follows the books pretty well, I thought. And that was The Hunger Games. I thought, yeah, there's some differences on that one as well. But for the most part, I thought they did a really good job translating the books into the movies. Those movies are what made me fall in love with Jennifer Lawrence. You know, I enjoy watching her in just about anything. So, no, that doesn't make me gay or anything. So, anyway. So, yeah, I kind of got off on a tangent on books. But, I'm trying to think. One book that I thought, okay, going back to Stephen King, I may have mentioned this in another video. If I did, I am so sorry. I do not mean to be repeating myself. I tend to do that. But one movie, actually it was turned into a mini series on Hulu, was at 11/22/63. Now, don't profess to be an expert on this book. However, I have listened to the audiobook about 4 times. And the audiobook is well over 30 hours long. So I've invested a lot of time to this book. And so I was super, super excited when I heard that Hulu has done a mini-series of the book. And first time we saw it, we was in a movie theater and they did a trailer for it, and I was like punching Kenneth on the arm saying yes, 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 you know, because I thought that it was a movie. I thought it was a book that would have translated well to a movie. So I was super, super excited. Okay. Time comes for it to come on. And it's been out for a while, so I don't feel so bad about talking about it. And it comes on, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. And I know that they have to change some of it, because if they stay true to the book, it would literally have to have been twice as long as it was. And I think it ended up being like 6 or 8 hour long episodes. So James Franco, I love James Franco. I do. I think he's a great actor. And I thought they got the perfect person to play Jake from the book. But guys, they changed so much about the story. okay? If you've seen the movie but not read the book, or if you've seen the miniseries but not read the book, you're okay. Because you don't know what you're missing. Let's just put it that way. Okay? And it just goes to show you that great books sometimes do not translate into movies when they want to be made. And I mean, he took, when in the book, okay, like I said, that's been out for a while, so I don't mind talking about it. In the book, the main character, his name is Jake, he goes back in the past. He finds out about the pantry and the local diner, that he can go back into the past, into 1958, I believe. Every time he goes into that pantry, it's always the same day, always the same time of day. So it doesn't matter what he's doing, what time, where he's coming from, or anything. When you step foot out of that pantry, it's always a day in September, I believe, is what I want to say, in 1958. I don't remember right off the top of my head, I'm sorry. And in the book, the first time he does it, he goes back because the person that told him about it was like, okay, go there, walk around, talk to people. When you come back, it will have only been 2 minutes in our time. So he'll be gone 2 hours. When he gets back, only 2 minutes have gone by. So it's literally just like that. Okay? So the first time he goes back, he walks around and he talks to people. He comes back, it's 2 minutes later. So the guy that told him about it proceeds to tell him why he is doing this, why he's telling Jake about it, what he wants Jake to do. And the thing that he wants Jake to do is to go back in time and stop the assassination of JFK. Okay? So, again, that's the whole basis for the title, is 11/22/63. But Jake, he wants to make sure that what he does in the past, what type of impact will it have on the present? And so I should preface to say that Jake is a teacher. He's a high school teacher. He also teaches adult education classes. And one of his students is the high school janitor, who has a disability and a slight learning disability. And I'll go into that why here in just a little bit. But Jake had assigned his class to write this story about the night that changed my life. Well, his student, the one that's a janitor in high school, he writes a story about the night that his father killed his mother and his brothers and almost killed him, but he survived. So Jake gets it into his head that what he wants to do is that he wants to see what would happen if he stopped that from happening. And that happened around Halloween of 1958. And remember, when they go back in time, it's always the same day. It's some day in September in 1958. So what he decides to do is that he decides to spend a month in the past, because time stays the same, it's still going in the past. So he's going to spend a month. He's going to go to Derry, which anybody who knows Stephen King knows about Derry, Maine. It, it, hint, hint, Pennywise, it. And so he spends a month in Derry, realizing that this town is very, very odd. And he even runs into Richie Tozier and Ellen. Is that right? Oh, what's her name? Beverly Marsh, who is two of the characters from It. So, but when it comes time to stop the killing that he's trying to stop, the past keeps trying to stop him. He'll get a flat tire, he'll come down violently ill. You know, the past is, when what Stephen King writes in his book, the past is obdurate and it does not want to change. The past is the past and it does not want to change. So he is trying to get to where he can stop this killing. And while he halfway succeeds, it doesn't go off the way he wants it to. And when he gets to the house where all this happened, he runs into somebody who he's had run-ins for the past month. And to make a long story short, which obviously I'm not very good at doing, he's able to stop the part of what he was trying to do. He's able to stop the killing of the daughter, the little girl in the family, and he's able to stop what happened to the janitor from happening. And so when he goes back to his own time, of course, even though he was in the past for a month, it's only been 2 minutes in his present. So he notices right away that things are different because of him stopping what happened to that little boy. And he realizes he finds a way of being able to get a hold of the daughter, the little girl, and finds out that the little boy grew up and ended up going to the Vietnam War and ended up getting killed there. So he, technically speaking, he never even met him. But since he knew him in the past and he knew him in the future, he remembered him. So he was basically able to surmise that what he does in the past is going to have impact on his present. So he thinks long and hard about what he wants to do, and he decides to go through with it, realizing that he's going to have to spend 5 years in the past for time to catch up to when JFK was assassinated. And in that 5 years, he ended up falling in love, and basically he stopped the assassination. He goes back to his own time, realizes the impact that happened. It's like the whole world is, excuse my French, fucked up just because of him stopping that. So the only way to fix it is to go back to that same day in 1958, because once you go through that pantry, everything resets. Everything that you did in the past is now null and void, like it's never happened. So as soon as he stepped through that pantry door, it was again 1958. The boy is still the boy. His father is still alive. His mother is still alive. His brothers and sisters are still alive. So basically, it negates everything. And the only way he can reset everything back to the way it's supposed to be is to step through that pantry door. So I am going to end that there, just because I think that there's so much that is there in that story that I'm not even touching on. That even if you're not a big Stephen King fan because you don't like horror stories or something, I highly recommend this story. There's not any horror in it. There's nothing like that. It's just a good drama, fiction, romance story. It's really well done. Now, when they did the miniseries, it's like a lot of that they just threw out the window. It's like he ends up in Dallas with somebody that, the person he ends up in Dallas with is somebody that's in the book, and it's somebody that he met, but it's not somebody that should have been where he was. He should not have even been in that part of the story. But for some reason, the people that did the miniseries decided that needed to be there. So, it's... If you hadn't read the book, but you just watched the miniseries, then you're fine. I thought it was well done, and like I said, if I hadn't read the book, I would have been like, oh wow, I really love this. I can watch this again. But since I have read the book and I have listened to it, it makes a difference. So, and that's kind of like the way it was when I watched The Dark Tower when it came out. Now, I will preface to say that I love Matthew McConaughey. I love Idris Elba. I love watching those guys. In this movie, not so much. And let me tell you why. Matthew played the Man in Black, who is technically the bad guy in the story. And Idris played Roland of Deshane. And frankly, I never pictured Roland as being black. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that to like be racist or anything, but in my mind's eye, he has never been black. They never said anything in the story about it or anything like that. So I would have thought that Matthew would have made it would have been reversed personally. But, and if I had never read the story, I would have been, oh wow, that's a pretty good movie, right? But I had read the story, and they changed so much. It's like a lot of that movie is not even in the book. A lot of that movie, I don't even know where they came up with it. Yeah, the little boy Jake is real. Yeah, same name, but different character. Jake is real, but Jake in the book, his family is like Fifth Avenue family, rich, In the movie, his dad is dead, his mom is poor, they live in the bad neighborhood. It doesn't make sense how they completely changed the aspect of that character. And in the book, Roland never came to New York City. Never. He never walked around New York City. Now, I will preface that by saying that in the second book, The Drawing of the Three, is that right? The second book is The Drawing of the Three. I'll have to check on that. I believe it is, because that's when we get introduced to, oh crap. What is his name? Eddie. So we get introduced to Eddie and Suzanne and the real bad guy. Now, in that one, Roland is able to kind of possess Eddie in a way to where he is walking around in Eddie's body in New York. But never in any of these books, now I will preface that to say that I have not read completely book 6 and book 7. I've only read all the way through book 5. But never in any of those 5 books has Roland ever walked around New York City. Never. But in the movie he does. So I was like, what? No. I guess I'm just a stickler to trying to stick as close to the book as you can. I mean, I guess in a way I'm kind of like my husband there, because he was reading like the Aragon stories, the story about the dragons, and they made a movie of it a while back. And he said that that movie completely deviated from the book. I mean, so much so that they should have named it something else. Now, I had not read that book, so I thought the movie was pretty good because I didn't know any better. So I guess it's like it's all a matter of perception. Like, if you know the story beforehand, then you're expecting to see things a certain way. If you don't, then it's like, okay, well, it's a pretty good movie. So it's like with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, I hadn't read that one yet before I went and saw the movie. I told you all that story. I know I did. And so everything, I was brand new completely to that story. But when I did start reading and listening to the book, I was amazed by how much of it followed true to the book. So that was a nice, pleasant surprise, and I'm glad that they were able to do that like that. So it's amazing how much you can do when you're just gabbing to yourself, isn't it? So, but yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be talking about books again coming up and sometime this weekend, so I hope you all forgive me. And I really super want to talk about Avengers, but I'm trying to hold off for a couple of weeks to give people a chance to go see it. Because I know that even though y'all could like turn it off and not listen to me talk about it, I'm still trying to be respectful. So it's like up at work, I got this one person that was going to go see it Wednesday, and he already had tickets and everything, but then that's when that tornado watch was happening, so he had to get his ticket refunded. and get tickets for another time. So I think he's going Saturday. So it's like, oh God, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it, but I am trying to be respectful of his feelings and not talk about it until he's had a chance to see it. Once he's seen it, though, it's game on. I'll be all about talking about the Avenger love. Yep, that's me. Laying on the Avenger love. So, yeah. Maybe next weekend during my whip and chats we'll go over the Avengers. Maybe we'll even do an Avengers video. We'll talk about each of the movies. And my daughter were arguing yesterday. She kept saying that if you're gonna watch the movies in a marathon, you need to watch it in chronological order, which in her mind would start with Captain America, the first Avenger. I say, no, you watch it in the order that they came out. There is a reason that the movies came out in the order that they came out. So, when about a week or so before Endgame started, I bought a magazine from Entertainment Weekly that was devoted strictly to the Avengers. And in it, it lists the movies in order that they were released. So I figured, oh, it might be fun to talk about an Avengers video. Maybe I will kit up one of my Avengers pictures and talk about the Avengers. Maybe then that'll make it like, okay, now I've got to do the picture. So, yeah, why not add another picture to my repertoire that I'm trying to do all at the same time? Because I'm just that glutton for punishment. So, I'm going to have to refill this again. Oh my gosh, how long have we been talking? Oh my gosh, it's almost an hour. I need something to drink. Hang on, I gotta take a drink. Maybe we can get all the ends placed on here. And I'm just going to dump this like this. Boop, 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 boop. That container's empty now. See? It's empty. Got a couple of them like that too. A couple more. Like my 317s, I've got 2 empty containers now. So I got empty container and 2 317s and 1 779. And that's it. Yep. So a lot of 317s have been placed on this canvas. I will say. You just left this turkey. Yeah. Okay. I'm good. Speaking of dragons, y'all watching the Game of Thrones? Please tell me you're watching Game of Thrones. Because I really want to talk about the Game of Thrones. But I'm going to wait until, let's see, we've had 3 episodes. We got 3 more. I'm going to wait until the series is over. I will put a disclaimer up on the video that I'm going to talk about it on, so that if you haven't seen it, you don't have to, you will know beforehand. I'm going to be talking about the Game of Thrones. Because I must talk about the Game of Thrones. And Fear the Walking Dead should be coming out soon. I actually need to finish watching the season 4. Is it 4? Season 4, second part of season 4. I need to finish. So let me find out if that's on Hulu, because for some reason I've never bought the Fear the Walking Dead DVDs. I don't know why. I mean, I got all the Walking Dead ones. Actually, I got them on Blu-ray. I buy them like the day it comes out. So, yeah. Priorities, people. Priorities. So, anyway. So, I am going to be making a video tomorrow showing my finished picture of C-3PO and R2-D2 and me sealing it with the Mod Podge glitter. Now, you all are subscribed to Stitcherista and Diamond Painting by Donnie. I know that they have already done a video like this, and it kind of makes me wonder if I should do another one like that. But I think that it's, I don't know, I think it's important to go ahead and do it. Just because you get different perspectives, and it's like the pictures that they did have all been like on, well, I think Stitcherista's was kind of a light background, but the one that Donnie did, it was on a dark background. And of course my C-3PO and R2-D2 one, they're on a background of 5200. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference in putting it on there and noticing it or not. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't know if it will be up tomorrow night, but I'm going to film it tomorrow night. I was going to film it tonight, but I think that I want to work on something else. I'm thinking about working on my small Alice after this one, or my big Alice. I know this weekend I'll probably change up the pictures that I work on, just so that you aren't having to watch the same thing over and over again. I know I've already done like 4 videos on this one, and I don't know what you all want to see. And like I said, I'm still working on the beaded cross stitch. I'm still working on the clouds, getting those done. As soon as I get those clouds done in the front and start getting into the cottage and everything and the flowers, I'll be filming again. I just want to get that part done, just because I felt like it was taking me forever. And right now I'm just working on it at work, which is not allowing me very much time to do it, because I can't take it into like the lunchroom, and I can't take it to my desk, and I'm basically just doing it sitting out in my truck in the morning and at lunchtime when I'm not talking to my husband. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So, and my daughter is actually going to St. Louis this weekend. She is going to an anime convention, which is her favorite thing in the world to do. She likes dressing up as characters and going to these conventions. And this will be the first time she's going to St. Louis. And I am like, okay, is the convention center near the hotel? She said yes. And I said, do me a favor. I realize that you were 24 years old, but let's prevent your mother from having a heart attack, and don't go anywhere that's not the hotel or the convention center. Stay in that general area, because the one time that me and Kenneth went through St. Louis to go get Kenneth's car, I was scared out of my mind. just because traffic was insane. And if you all live in St. Louis, please forgive me. I mean no offense. And it may just because I'm not used to it. But yeah, we accidentally got off of the expressway. And I thought that we would never get back on there. So I was scared. And I told her, I said, Jasmine, if you run into Randy Orton, get me his autograph. And she just kind of looked at me like, okay, Mom, whatever. I was like, no, seriously. I said, do you know what he looks like? And she's like, no. I said, okay, here's what you do. If you see a man who is pretty muscular, has almost no hair, and a lot of tattoos, go up to him and say, hey, are you Randy Orton? And if he is, say, my mom wants your autograph. And if he's not, say, hey, my mom was crazy. And she looked at me and she's like, no. I'm like, why not? And she's like, no. I'm like, God, you never do anything I want you to do. No, I won't say that. She did do a lot for me. Last summer, she went to Dragon Con. And Jasmine Beckett Griffith was there. And she got me a bunch of stuff from Jasmine. She got me her new art book. She got me a couple new pins. She got me a lanyard. She got me a new shopping bag that's got Alice on it. She got me my Alice fan, which is covered up by my painting up there. So, and then she got me an autographed picture of Sting, not the singer. I'm talking about the wrestler. And so, yeah, my daughter is one of the greatest people in the world. She didn't have to do that for me. And I realized she spent a week at Dragon Con and she only had to give me about an afternoon of her time, but still, it was nice that she did that. She didn't have to do that. So, but yeah, that's what she'll be doing this weekend. Kenneth wants to be working outside. I need to do some filming since I'm going to be busy all week next week, working 12 hours a day, not coming home until about 8 o'clock in the evening. Which means I won't even be able to watch Raw, because I'll be too tired to watch Raw when I get home. I think I already need to put new wax in this pen. Whew, that's a lot of ends. $7.75. Does anybody notice that, especially if you get more than one EverMoment, that they really stick to the symbols for particular numbers? Have y'all noticed that? I have noticed that a lot. It's like the ends on my Ray Ray picture, it was $7.75, just like this one. The hearts are $3.10. The slashes are $9.39. The sideways M, from what I've been able to tell, is always $1.54. So you kind of get used to symbols with particular companies. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So it's like I can look on here and it's like, oh, look, there's a heart. I don't have to look at the symbol list to tell that that is the 310. I feel like my dragon's going to be spouting fire here pretty soon. Now somebody can make a pin like that. That would be freaking awesome. Can you imagine? That would be crazy. I hope the sound is a little bit better on here than it was in my last video. Last video I had the microphone attached to my shirt. This time I just got it sitting over here on the diamond painting because I don't want you all to have to pick up. See, because when I had the hiccups just a little bit ago, can you imagine hearing that on the camera? Yeah, I've been like running for your lives. So I hope it's coming off a little bit better. But I think that I'm going to go ahead and end this because of both. See, I'm up over an hour now, so yeah, it's already going to take me all night to upload it. So I'm going to go ahead and end this right here. I'm going to keep on trucking along, putting these 775s here. I may go ahead and put my 37.99s. Yep, 37.99s on here, since there's not as many of them than there are 317s. So, and we'll see where we're at. Maybe when we work on this weekend, I will be able to work on something a little bit more exciting than the background. So, and let me know if you want to do a kitting of the Avengers painting, and maybe I'll set a couple of mine to the side and we'll work on the Avengers if y'all want. So, not this one. This one's got to get done. This one I got to work on. But maybe I'll do the Avengers on camera more than I do this one on camera. I think my husband would be happy if I did everything on camera, but I just don't think that's going to be feasible. Y'all would get so tired of me. I can't do that. I can't talk that much. I already talk more now than I ever have in my life, honestly. I'm just not ever been a big talker. I've always been the shy, quiet one that never raised their voice around their family or anything like that. Of course, if you'd seen me this past Christmas, you'd been like, whoa, Susan grew some balls. Yes, I did. But it was all fun. I was just trying to we were doing Secret Santa or Dirty Santa or whatever. It's one where you can steal people's gifts. And I'm just trying to get everybody to get around and get going. And I guess I had to kind of raise my voice a little bit because there's probably about 20 or so people in the house. Not this one. It's my sister's house. Or one of my sister's house. My big sister's house. So, but anyway. Okay, I am going to end this now. So I hope that within the next week you all won't be like so tired of hearing from me. But let me know, like, in this video if you can, or shoot me an email. My email is Susan Reed, REED 73 at outlook.com. Susan Reed 73 at outlook.com. Let me know if you would be interested in me doing an Avengers painting as a drill with me, because I'm okay with it. So we can do the kitting up of it and working on it. I have not forgotten my beaded cross stitch. Like I said, I'm just trying to get the clouds done. As soon as I get the clouds done and can move into some color, I will definitely be back on camera with that. So, but yeah, okay, I'm gonna go. I need to go see if the UPS man has dropped off my cross stitch patterns anyway. So, all right, y'all take care. Be safe, have fun, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.